welcome to Conversations with Kay. I'm Kay Ryder. And every week I talk with Vermonters who are leaders in the fields of government, health care, education, the arts, and community life. My guests are Muffie Milens, who's the Executive Director of First Night Burlington, and Zach Williamson, who's the Artistic Director and Production Manager for First Night Burlington 2018. Welcome to our radio listeners at 99.3 FM, WVBT LP. Well, glad to have you here.
Glad to be here, thank you.
Yes, now congratulations, this is First Night's 35th year. And that's always exciting. You've been going a long time and very successfully. And now Muffie, why is First Night so popular?
I think we appeal to a lot of different, we have families, we have teenagers, we have the 20s, the 30s, all the way up to the senior sections, and we have a lot of variety. We have singer-songwriters, we have bands, we have dance, we have storytelling.
That's certainly
fireworks.
Fireworks, of course, something for everyone.
Yeah.
Fireworks in the winter are spectacular. I love it. I just love it. Now, Muffie, this is the first night, the first year that First Night Burlington has set up a partnership with Burlington City Arts. And how did this come about?
It came about because I think we were looking at past history in the most recent years and thought we needed to have some fresh input on particularly the programming, which is what Zach really has brought to the table. We needed to mix it up a little bit more and bring in some new people that we haven't had, or even perhaps draw upon people that had not been at First Night for past 8-10 years.
Yeah. So Zach, my
Yes.
kids went to First Night.
Excellent.
They loved First Night, and you're also, as Muffie said, you're also on the staff of Burlington City Arts as his event and production manager. Why did you want to become a part of First Night Burlington?
Sure. Yeah, I think through my work at Burlington City Arts, doing events and production work throughout the year, particularly working on the Burlington City Hall Park concert series, which we do concerts every Wednesday and Friday from June, July, and August. So that brings me a lot of different musicians that are both local and regional musicians that perform there. And then working on the Festival of Fools is also done by Burlington City Arts, and I'm the managing director of that festival. So when First Night started speaking with us, it seemed like a great extension of my work already happening at BCA, and bringing a lot, as Muffy said, a lot of the artists that I know from the work that we do at BCA, pairing them up with some artists who have traditionally worked with First Night, and finding a new balance of programming.
Are you also involved with the programs at Contoy's Auditorium?
Yes, so I manage Contoy's Auditorium on a daily basis. So through that work, indeed, I, even more so than the rental spaces at BCA, I interface with many, many community groups that across the spectrum of performing arts and meetings and organizations who need space. So I do get to meet many, many community members through that venue as well.
Great.
Yeah.
So you know the local groups, and that's what you pull on for First Night.
Exactly.
And that's great source of material, I'm sure. Now, Muffie and Zach, you have brought some clips, some groups that are going to be around on First Night, and I know we'd like to watch them and share them with our audience. And we're starting off with a group which has a great name. I mean, you know, Gang of Thieves. And it's a band.
Yes.
And can you tell us a little bit about them?
Sure, definitely. Gang of Thieves is a Burlington-based band that, interestingly enough, doesn't play all that much here in Burlington. So they have a great following, a great crowd, and when they do play in Burlington, it's kind of an event. And so I got in touch with them, trying to put together a double bill. So they're performing at the Flynn Theater. Gang of Thieves goes on stage around 10:15 at night, but the double bill starts earlier at night with Swale, which is another great local band here in Burlington. So Gang of Thieves, I think they really bring potentially a lot of fun on First Night at the Flynn, a great energy, an interesting kind of balance of rock, but not total hard rock. They have a fiddle player that paired with an electric guitar. I think they're going to look great on stage, and they tour regionally and nationally, and for us to get them here on New Year's Eve, I think was really great.
Great. Well, let's watch Gang of Thieves.
Leave the past behind.
Well, they certainly have a lot of zip, don't they?
They do.
My goodness.
Yeah, I think they'll be a real party. It'll be amazing to have them on stage,
Yeah.
like getting really close to midnight on New Year's Eve. I think it's going to be a
Right.
great show.
Well, and from the Gang of Thieves, you have a clip of a group that's a really kind of a favorite of mine. They're a Vermont group, and they have been around quite a while. Actually, it's their 30th anniversary, and this is Circusmurtis, and this is for the young and the young at heart, if you will.
For sure, yeah, we're really lucky to have the Circusmurtis back here with us. They've been a crucial member of First Night Burlington for many years, performing previously up at Memorial Auditorium and then recently down at the Flynn. So they're doing 2 shows at the Flynn at 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock, and it's as you said, a great family event, and we're really looking forward to having them back.
Well, let's go to the circus. Let's just go to the circus and see it. It looks like great fun to be in that group.
It is. But
Yep.
the other thing that's special about Circusmurtis is that they put together a show for First Night Burlington, especially.
Special for First
Every
Night
year.
Burlington.
Yep.
Well, that's marvelous.
Yeah.
On their 30th and your 35th. I think that's a good idea. I think that's a great idea.
So.
Now we have a singer coming. Actually, her name is Mayra. Can't remember my writing.
There you go.
Mayra Flynn.
Yes.
And she is, despite her name, this is her first time on the Flynn main stage. What kind of a singer is she?
So Mayra, we're really pleased to be working with her. She's definitely been a part of First Night before, and a lot of audiences around the state of Vermont know her work, and she's terrific. So we have her kind of opening the night at the Flynn, and she's been working with a lot of great local musicians. We've got Caleb Bronze and Paul Bofa playing with her as well. She's well known here in Vermont. She just did and recorded a new album, which will be released as part of this event at the Flynn. And so she is a great singer-songwriter. She'll be playing a piano, singing, has some really interesting balance of jazz and folk and soul and R&B, and a really terrific musician that we should be really proud of here in the state.
Well, I'm glad you have some jazz because Burlington has the great jazz. In June, a whole week of jazz.
Exactly.
So now we'll watch Mayra Flynn.
'Cause we can't even be friends. I guess this is really the end. One thing I've learned now after watching us burn, I'm gonna view this landmine through a different lens. So color me crazy, color me senseless, color me stupid, but I still believe in love. You can color me crazy, color me senseless, color me foolish, but I still believe in love. Oh, 'cause even though it's hurt me to the core, I still need something I can hold. You know, life just gets colder as you get older. I'm not okay with only me walking all alone in these streets. is still here. So color me cry. You can color me crazy and color me senseless and color me stupid and I still believe in love. You can color me crazy and color me senseless and color me foolish. I still believe in love. You can color me crazy and color me senseless and color me stupid and I still believe in love.
I really like her. I really do. You're in for a treat.
You are in for a treat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's really good.
And she, as I said, she plays a lot around town, but I think to have her on First Night at the Flynn main stage, Flynn on the Flynn, as we've been saying, I think is really going to be great. And if you've ever seen Mayra Flynn anywhere around town, to see her in that venue is going to be terrific.
Flynn on the Flynn, I like
Exactly.
that. I love that. Anyway,
Right.
our last clip is a group called A2VT, and this stands from Africa to Vermont. Is that
That's
correct?
correct. Yep.
Yeah.
What they have ethnic music or
They're
jazz or
they're a group of young guys,
Hip-hop.
yeah, who
Really?
are doing really great local hip hop, which is not something every group. You know, we have a lot of great music in the state. Hip hop is not always something that people are crafting around here. So they really made a name for themselves a few years ago with a really great, really cool music video and song that they put together. They've been playing in different venues around town. They are a recent favorite of First Night. Last year they packed Contoy's Auditorium. So this year we've got them actually outside, which I can tell you more about later if you want, but they're going to be performing outside on Church Street at 8 o'clock as part of a bigger event that we have planned. But we're really lucky to have A2VT, and it's going to be a really fun show.
I hope they get a warm night on Church
We'll
Street.
see, we'll see. Yes,
You never know. Okay, let's listen to A2VT.
great.
Just a world full of confusion. Spin around, need a revolution. Gotta find a real solution. Feels like we're waiting forever. One thing I know, I'm motivated. Spirit high, so elevated. We're gonna change it before we fade it. Let's get together. To one me one day. Open the way to one day. So now me one day. Kila kabila zote. Come on. Furahi wote. Sahau mabaya yote. Let's get together. Let's get together. Let's get together. It's time to get together. Let's get together. Let's get together. Let's get together.
I'm talking with Muffie Milens, who's Executive Director of First Night Burlington, and Zach Williamson, who's the Artistic Director and Production Manager of First Night Burlington 2018. And it's their 35th season. How about that? Do you have some new artists this year? Mention a couple, if you can.
Yeah, sure. We as we talked about earlier, this partnership between BCA and First Night Burlington did allow us to really look at the overall programming scheme and see who's been here for a number of years, who does what in terms of attendance and crowd and draw, where they work at different times of the day. And so with that, we made a point of hanging on to some of the longtime favorites of First Night, and we don't want to rock the boat too much, but we did work on bringing in some new artists and some new programming. So some of the highlights of new groups, we do have Mal Maiz, who's going to do 2 sets down in the Flynn space I think that'll be a really great show. He's known really well, him and his group is known really well here in Burlington for playing a weekly set up at the Radio Bean, but to get him in the Flynn space for 2 different shows down there, I think is going to be a lot of fun. We also have Binger, which is a great band that I actually started working with this summer as part of the summer concert series in the park.
They're wonderful.
They are a lot, yeah.
They're fun.
Muffie really enjoys them, I do too.
So-
No, it's great. They do an interesting mix of like their new material, plus they integrate kind of cover songs, but all the cover songs are tweaked, and then they put together these kind of montages, which is really fantastic
Great.
work.
Now, Muffie, do you have any new sites this year?
We do. We have one that we're really quite excited about, which is the Vermont Comedy Club. As you know, comedy is becoming more and more a very popular event. And so we're going to be doing 4 hours of programming at the Vermont Comedy Club, which is located down on Main Street, so it's right in our footprint. And then Phoenix Books is returning as a site. They've been out of the picture for a couple of years, and they are pleased and we are pleased. And that'll be primarily storytelling and singer-songwriters. And then the really new thing is taking advantage of Church Street Marketplace, which really we owe to Zach, who we have this footprint, but we, other than the Dancing Dragons Parade, we haven't really been using it. So I'm going to let Zach talk about a little bit briefly about what we're going to do on Church Street.
Right. So yeah, I when I looked at the festival, I know what makes Jazz Fest and Festival Fools work really well is the marketplace and seizing that great pedestrian walkway, but there's just the vibe of that whole street really comes alive. It is the dead of winter, so that did pose a little bit of a logistical challenge, but I decided we're going to go for it, and if it keeps being beautiful like it has been, we'll see what happens. But we're going to do something called the Shiver Shiver Shake. It's our first year trying it, so from 5 o'clock till 8 o'clock, and then, as I already said, A2VT will finish it at 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock. We're going to have a DJ out there, a real spectacle. DJ Lee, who is Lee Anderson from Radio Bean, and his great establishments up there is going to be spinning for us on Church Street. The mall block, we're going to have quite a lighting setup, a really terrific sound system to really make it an event. So what I've been telling people, it definitely will be cold. The question is how cold. But I think if we can get people out there and dance and have a good time, it could be something, a really great addition to First Night.
If you're dancing, it's amazing how hot you get.
And going to A2VT at 8 o'clock at the end of that is obviously a great dance group and will be a lot of fun. Yeah.
Great. Now, Muffie, let's talk about where can people get tickets?
Well, starting November 1st, you can get them online at our website, which is firstnightburlington.org. And you can get buttons and tickets, and we have adult buttons, we have child buttons, we have a student rate, we have family pack. And then starting December 1st, buttons will be available at various outlets, as they have been in years past, which are the grocery stores and some of the banks. We will have that listed on our website where you can get them. In addition, you can also get tickets through Flynn Tix, walk-in only. And then BCA this year, Burlington City Arts, is also going to be selling buttons and tickets Tuesday through Sunday. And those hours, again, all of it will be available on our site.
And people can go to our website, as you said.
Yep,
and get their tickets there.
And you can call as well.
And your website is great. It has a lot of information about First Night, the schedule and the artists and all that. And it's a great place. Now, before I forget it, you do have to have special tickets for the events at the Flynn Theater. Is that correct?
You have, the button alone will not get you in. So you need a button, plus there's a ticket, $5, in addition for the events that are on Flynn Main Stage, which are Circusmurtis, the double bill of Swale and Gangs of Thieves, and Mayra Flynn.
Exactly.
Okay, now I know some of my favorites are returning. Michael Arnowet and Sarah Cullens and, Lyrics Cabaret. I mean, you really you take advantage of the local artists in Vermont and the Burlington area, and I love that. I love that. Now let's talk about the special things for kids. And by the way, I'm talking with Muffie Milens, who's the executive director of First Night Burlington, and Zach Williamson, who's the artistic director and production manager for First Night Burlington 2018, their 35th anniversary. Now, what are you going to do special for the kids?
So yeah, I mean, a lot of what makes First Night amazing is the family programming and directed at kids. And we have a couple of venues that are really geared specifically towards kids. One of them being Edmonds Middle School. So in the gymnasium there, we have the Very Merry Theater doing 2 shows, which is going to be great. We have Studio 3 Dance Company. We have the Electric Youth Dance Company. We have Say It Forward, which is a group of local musicians who do a kind of storytelling musical event. They've been with First Night a number of times, so they're going to be back. And then we also have other programming for kids at Phoenix Books, as Muffie mentioned. We have some there. We have the Vermont Young Traditions musical group. They'll also do an instrument petting zoo as part of that.
Instrument petting zoo.
Yeah, yeah. So they bring in instruments. It's
in-
time to explore. Yep,
Yeah.
the kids can kind of check out the different instruments. And then specifically at the Burlington City Arts, we have make and take art crafts there from 2 to 5. The YMCA does a stay and play. We're really lucky to be working with them again. That's from 1 to 5. We have face painting at the Edmonds School Middle School cafeteria. So there's a lot of great.
There's a
great-
lot. There's
yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
I have new sites. Do you try to put certain shows at a certain site, Muffie?
We do. Like Flynn Space is really pretty much jazz-based. And then I would
Down
say
at the
the
Baptist
first,
Church, you put classical music
we
there?
tend
do
to
you?
put classical at the First Baptist. Unitarian Church, we tend to put singer-songwriters.
And some bigger acts
and
there.
some
And my
bigger acts.
church.
And then
There
your
you go.
church,
First Congo.
First Congo.
Is one of our bigger sites as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I'm always, I'm going to put in a little plug here because I think the churches of downtown Burlington were very instrumental in starting First Night and when it first got going. And without their sites, I mean, centrally located
Oh,
churches.
yeah.
And they also serve some moderately priced food
Exactly.
during the evening, so that helps out the families too. So that's really nice. What about the teenagers, quickly?
Exactly. Well, I want to just mention you are exactly right. We couldn't do it without the Burlington churches, and working with them has been terrific. And they all just open their doors, and are really accommodating and enthusiastic at the same time about this event. For teenagers, so we've got the kids covered, we've got the teens covered for sure. I think a teenager would do well to hang out in Contois Auditorium starting around 7 o'clock. We've got the Dave Keller Band in there, the band Sugar, which did great last year and plays around town quite a bit. Priding, which is an Irish rock band, is back. And then if they stay until closer to midnight, we have Red Hot Juba, which is a great bluegrass, a lot of fun. They could also be really interested in any of the shows at the Flynn, no doubt.
Right.
Gang of Thieves is right. Gang of Thieves and
Right,
Swale
should be.
is terrific.
Right.
If you've seen them in Nectar's, they're going to be even better on the Flynn main stage. So
Okay.
there's a lot of great programming for teens.
That's wonderful. And the fireworks, early fireworks for the little folks,
Yes.
and late fireworks for the night
yeah.
owls like me. I mean, that's just marvelous. That's a lot of fun. Fast, Muffie, how are you funded?
Well, we have been very fortunate for many years now. North Country Federal Credit Union is our title sponsor. And in addition, we also have other sponsorships. Only about 40 to 50% of our ticket and button proceeds make this possible, so our sponsors are terribly important. We also have community-wide people supporting
Okay.
us through our
Right.
Friends program.
So community support, with donations, very important for First Night, and also community support in the number of volunteers who work for First Night, and that they should contact your website or call you to find out more information.
They can call, but the best thing to do is to go on our website. There's an application, there's a description of the different jobs that are available, and we will, we use close to 200 volunteers.
Wow, 200 volunteers.
Yeah.
So they can do all kinds of
Right.
things too. So they should fill out an application
And you earn a button, and that'll get you in after you finish your shift. And
Oh,
there's
that's good.
pre-event work as well, but that's all on the website.
Great, very good. So if someone's interested, they should contact you. Time is fleeing, as it always does.
Right,
And,
right.
Why is Burlington? Why is the downtown Burlington? You talk about your footprint. Why is it such a great place for First Night, Muffie?
I think for one thing, I mean, it's not that big a distance, and in recent years, we've really tried to also think about families and the fact that little kids really can't walk all those many distances, so we try to cloister the different, the family so-called programming sort of between the start to around 6 o'clock until the parade. I think it's, you know, I can't tell you, I mean, my feeling is, in past years I haven't gotten out that much, but the last couple of years I've really tried to get out, and the feeling of people just all over and looking happy and wearing, I mean, really enjoying it and going.
Great.
It's the
Well,
camaraderie. I mean, there's a
Great.
lot of.
Well, I hope that you will be out there.
I will be out there.
Right.
On First Night's 35th anniversary, walking around, enjoying First Night. And thanks to all the people and sponsors who've made it possible all these years, and all the volunteers. Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining us on Conversations with Kay.